Hi there, this is Karen STEVER, and I'm coming at you from thepublicrecord.com, and we're working on the Public Playground project together. And this is a collaborative project where the entire world is taking part in it, or is able to take part in it. This is only phase one, where we're just working on some lyrics right now, and as of Monday, I will be uploading a complete vocal track after I have the lyrics completely written, based on the ideas that you guys have sent me. And you'll be putting a drum track to it. You'll be then putting guitars to it, and bass, and whatever other noises and vocals and stuff that you guys have. So those are all phases that I'm really looking forward to. So I have until Sunday or so, Monday, to have this song written, have it in a session for you, and upload it onto the internet so you drummers can have at it. So I've just been trying to include you a little bit so that you understand where I'm getting ideas and where I'm going with things. And yesterday you heard me talk about setting the topic, setting the intention, and covering who's on the playground. And I mentioned that the three types of people on the playground were the victims, the bullies, and the light workers, or the guardian angels, or those warriors. And so I wanted a cast of characters set from 1907, and I was inspired by President Roosevelt's speech from that year, where he talked about how every child should be allowed to have a place to play, and about how that's a fundamental need and a fundamental right. So I thought that was very inspiring. It was super cool. So I went online and I looked for a cast of characters, and I picked 26 times 2, a girl's name and a boy's name, from the 1907 era, because I want it to be kind of timeless and just made up character names. And I used Big Monkey's suggestion about the Gashley Crumb Tinies vibe, doing that ABC Darien thing, you know, A is for Abby, or, you know, whatever, and kind of making characters out of the victims, the bullies, and then the light workers, because those are the three people on the playground, or three types of people on the playground. And so if you can see my paper, which we've been trying to do this and might be confusing and dizzying to those, but I'll just try it again. On my paper here, I talked, you see at the top where it says Big Monkey, and I went through and I just picked some kind of fictitious names so that I would have these at my disposal for when I'm writing, if I just need a character's name that begins with that particular letter. And I got thinking, you know, it's kind of cool how they can all represent, some of them can be in verse 1, some of them can be in verse 2, some can be in verse 3, and we can have some of them representing, you know, the victims, the bullies, and the light workers, the three types of people, so in those verses. And I thought that I could represent letter I, maybe. I got Isabel and Isaac in there, but I just thought about it after, you know, maybe that will be just me, and where kind of my view is on there. And then I thought it might be cool, I put a note down here where it says missing children. I thought it'd be cool to dedicate a few lines to those who haven't made it to the playground yet. So we'll see, like a mathematical equation, how that all works into it, but that's my intention. So we'll see how that goes. I have the right to change if I suck really brutally at it, but that's what I'm trying to go for, is to be able to get those three types of children into the song in the verses. And, you know, so for everybody that's in the A to E group or so, those will be victims, and then, you know, the next group will be bullies, and then the next group will be the light workers or the guardians that kind of come to the rescue. Hopefully that's my intention. Try to keep it a 1907 vibe, metaphorical, nothing really literal, so we'll see how that goes. But I wanted to talk about a few of the people that continue to inspire me in this. JT Allen had sent me a really cool email, and he just said, you know, why don't you just call it Public Playground? Like, that was the name of this project that we're working on together. And, you know, I got thinking, it's like, well, when I got reading about President Roosevelt's intention of having a public playground for everybody, it's like, yeah, JT, that's starting to make more sense all the time. And he wasn't the only one that mentioned it. I had several people that are like, it should just be about the public playground. And so that's very cool. So it's kind of the way I'm steering it, but again, we'll see kind of how it goes out. And Joseph Bruno talked about skeletons in the closet, and I could really see this visual of these children, you know, who take over the playground, being kind of almost part skeleton, part child, because you can see their abuses, or, you know, their cuts and their bruises and their torn clothes, or just, you know, how they've been neglected. Thought that could make for some really strong visuals in it. Lloyd STEVER, who it's still up in the air as to whether we're related or not until he sends me a vial of his blood, but STEVERs seem to find each other. He said, you know, how will this generation leave its mark on history? And that's really stuck with me through this whole thing as well. Alex Havrilla talked about walking the thin line. That kind of goes back to that frustration and stuff I was talking about with Ron Imhoff yesterday. So that's really stuck with me as well, is just the decisions we have to make. And then Newt from Germany had talked about the ruin of our planet by the people, and that made me think of how music can help heal, and how we and oh yeah, that's what that says. That's from Troy Castellano at the bottom. We can make art from the ruins. Back, I think it was over. Oh, where's Troy? Oh, up at the top here. When he talked about that price of life, that's what it was, and how that is inhibiting to our creativity and we're feeling trapped. So those are kind of the key people that have really influenced me, plus everybody I mentioned on yesterday's video, as to where I'm going with this. So I will continue to update you throughout the week and show you how I'm going to do vocal tracks and all that kind of fun stuff. All right, rock on!